Welcome back, adventurers, to the 5 minutes of your time. This is going to be called the McGahee 5 minutes of your time. So what I want to talk about is the McGahee's. Now, who are they? Why am I bringing them up? Alright, so quick backstory. The McGahee's, Nathan McGahee, was my friend growing up through. We became friends in 5th grade, and we're friends through middle school, friends through high school, friends after high school. We had a little falling out, if you want to call it that. And like most guys, if they have a falling out, it's because of a woman. Me and him are past that. We are no longer falling out. We are just adult friends at this point. We know each other, where they're at, where each other are, what's going on, and I hope the feeling is mutual, that if anything is needed, just reach out to each other so we can help each other out. I grew up with Nathan. We played paintball all the time. We went driving, going places all the time. But we were always doing something together. Nathan has 2 little brothers. One is Richard. Richard McGahee is having his first child, little Willow. I don't know when the actual birth is supposed to be. I'm not sure if it's already happened at this present point of the day. But he is having his firstborn with his wife, Miss April. And I tell you, from what I've seen of them two together and doing the stuff they enjoy doing, they are absolutely perfect for each other. They are a great match. It is, from what I've seen, they seem to just understand each other on a fundamental point. And they're just growing up through life now with each other and making a family. Then we have the youngest, Corey McGahee. Hey, how you doing? Corey McGahee lives at home with his dad, Butch. Get to Butch in a minute. And he is, for the best way I can put it, he is what his dad needs for assistance on a regular basis. I can't even begin to explain how much Corey has the abilities to be there for whatever is needed as he is. Yeah, I mean, he is this a spoonful of helpfulness for the family. And he helps out with the business, the family business, which we'll get into Butch real quick. Butch runs his own small business where he fixes, repairs, does maintenance on large equipment. I know I worked for him for a little spell where the projects that we worked on together, we had a mini track hoe that we had to go, I can't remember where we had to drive to go get it, but we drove up there in his big van, pulling a trailer, and we actually had to winch this track hoe up on the trailer to get it back to the shop where we could make it to where it was drivable again. And if you don't know anything about any kind of equipment with tracks, if it's not driving, you're basically not moving it. Bulldozers and such like that are unmovable objects when you can't engage the drive system. They just weigh so much, and the tracks don't like moving when they're not under power. It's a mess. But we got the track hoe up on the trailer, and we got it fixed and back out to the owner, and so on and so forth. That's the kind of stuff Butch does. A couple years ago, he lost half of his leg, so now he's dependent on a wheelchair or a walker to get around. And he is still working on equipment. He has a wheelchair out there at the shop where he gets in the wheelchair, works on the equipment, and gets back in his truck and moves around. And for the people who don't have nearly the disability that this man is facing and do a 16th of the work that this man is capable of. You know, if you're not trying, what are you doing? And that's kind of my point. And what Butch did for me growing up is there was a lot of stuff that my dad didn't teach me for whatever reasons, and my stepdad Nicky just didn't have the knowledge of for himself. So if you don't have the knowledge, you can't teach somebody what they need to do, right? So what Butch taught me how to do was working on different types of equipment. Now, yeah, between him and my dad, I did learn how to put a motor into a car. I did learn how to change parts off that motor. Now, I am shit when it comes to changing parts inside the motor. There is no way you can expect me to go pull the heads off a car and get them back on like they need to be. That's not going to happen. Now, if I'd have spent more time with Butch in his shop working on things, I promise you I would know how to tear a motor completely apart and bring it all the way back up 10 times better it was than when I took it apart. This man is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to fixing things, getting things worked around. The type of man you would want your daughter to marry, because you know whatever comes across their family's plate, he's going to find a way to get the family through it. And that's the best way I can describe Butch. He was the perfect man in my eyes for Miss Anita, who we lost her over the past year. I think he was the best man she could have asked for. And growing up around their family, all you ever felt was love and success and hopes for brighter futures for everybody. I'm over my 5-minute mark by a good spell, but I can't begin to describe enough how much the McGahee's affected my life, not only going up through school, but after school. Just even in this present point in my life, there are stuff that I come across that I think, dang, I wouldn't know how to do this or how to handle this if it wasn't for the time I spent with the McGahee's. And I think that's part of the reason why my household feels the way we do with the Forgotten Angels. David, Tyler, and Cindy, what they provide education-wise, what they can teach those young men and women is the kind of stuff I know I learned from being around the McGahee's. So anything I can do to help support the Forgotten Angels, I'm going to do, because I know they'll teach the kind of stuff the McGahee's taught me.